So the first thing I want to share is this. Our children, unique children, absolutely need your presence and our presence. They absolutely need it. There's nothing more clear by way of our own knowledge and our own intuition and research. What research says is that we influence our children's experience. So the question I have for you is, because we have so many multiple roles to balance, who gets your best? Who gets your best? For many of us who are socialized, if you have a good relationship with a male role model, a father figure, I was raised to give my best to my job. I was raised to financially provide for my people. And to do that means the best, my best, goes by way of my employer. And I don't know if anybody else has that experience, but who gets your best? Do our kids and families get our best? Does the fantasy football league get our best? Does our fraternity or other social organizations get our best? Man, does our lawn get our best? I don't know if anybody out here does any landscaping or things like that, but does our lawn or other leisure activities, do those things get our best? Or do our partners get our best? Do our romantic partners, do our relatives, and do our kids get our best? We've got to continue to challenge this age-old notion that we're supposed to be distant breadwinners. There's a bunch of roles that fathers have evolved to take in the course, in the context of their families over time. And somebody will tell you, well, as long as you're providing money, as long as they have what they need with respect to money, they should be straight. And I'm here to hopefully challenge that notion, and that you know already that the most important thing we can give our families and our kids, our unique kids, our kids with developmental differences, is our time. Be present. And so I'm encouraging you to be present at school. Be present at the IEP meetings. Be present in all the different spaces where you find your kids, because they're going to benefit from it. Fatherhood requires negotiation all the time. By show of hands here, who has more than one child? Right. Me too, just like I said. And with every single child that we have, we always have to renegotiate. What does this kid need that the other one didn't need? What is, if you're married or in a relationship with the mother of the child, what is the woman or my wife or my partner or just my baby's mom, what does she need from me with this kid that she didn't need from me from the other kid? And I want you to be aware of how much we have to renegotiate all the time, depending on the need of our child, depending on the disposition of our children, because they need you, and they need you to be at your best. I'm telling you and reminding you that your presence, research shows, you know, I know, that all the outcomes for our kids are better when dads are involved. Better communication skills. I'm telling you, there's research out there that suggests kids with autism and other developmental differences that influence communication ability, when dads are involved, there's evidence to suggest that they develop a stronger set of communication skills. Educational outcomes, graduation, passing grades, getting promoted, job identification and career orientation, all those things are affected by your presence, or for those folks that we know out in the communities, the lack thereof, that presence. So I'm encouraging you, make them aware of your presence. Make everybody who provides service to your kids aware of your presence, and make sure your kids know who you are and what you represent to them. So that's the first thing. Our children, our unique kids, absolutely need us. The second thing I will share with you is this. Know your triggers. What pisses you off about this experience? What is it? Is it that you can't go into certain spaces? Is it that you have to have a wheelchair everywhere you go? Is it because you have to tell somebody, or every new person you meet who comes into your home, or you go out with your children and your family, that you have to orient somebody to your kid's particular needs? Does that bother you? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it bothering you, but if it bothers you, I need you to know it, so that when it bothers you so much that you don't have a negative response, right? Know your triggers. So if you're looking at this graphic, right, you see stress. All stress isn't bad, but some stress can be bad. So negative forms of stress predisposes us to anger. What do you do when you're angry? Do you shut down and stop talking? That's what I do. Don't say nothing to me. I was arguing with my wife this week. I had to force myself to talk because I wouldn't talk for at least 2 days. And that's real deal, because I have stopped having things to say. But what does negative stress prompt you to do with respect to your anger? That anger triggers certain thoughts in your mind and in your heart. And I'm encouraging you that what you're telling yourself about that particular trigger might yield a really negative response. And so I'm encouraging you to know your triggers, because in knowing your triggers, you're better able to respond to those things. I encourage you to acknowledge the most challenging aspects of this experience and know how you're vulnerable.